Wir starten Richtung Westen. Linkskurve links in entgegen, so wie es ausschaut, beim Ankunft beim besten Wetter. Ich wünsche Ihnen einen schönen Aufenthalt. Dear passengers, a short way now from the cockpit. My name is Oliver Graf.
So my journey to Sibiu Romania started from Munich, Germany. Thus, in a way, this video is sorta like a part 2 continuation. If you've not watched my video on my trip to Munich, do consider watching that video first. As it was my first time visiting Romania, I arrived a couple of days before the start of my 11-day motorcycle riding tour with BMW Motorrad in order to visit this historic town. Join me now as we arrive into this beautiful city where I will do my best to bring you with me as we visit some of its most illustrious and well-preserved landmarks. Welcome to Sibiu.
Here we are at the Continental Forum Hotel, and I got to say the hotel room looks pretty cool. I'm pretty sure it's a really old hotel because the building looks like it was built in like post-war era, maybe 40s or 50s. Pretty nice view too. That is pretty much old town of Sibiu, and where I will be taking you guys with me for the next 2 days. We'll go check out some of the sites here in Sibiu, Romania. All right, welcome to Sibiu and welcome to Romania. So I've just checked into the hotel, staying at the Hotel Continental Forum, and sorted out my laundry, had a quick shower, and now it's about 3 in the afternoon and I'm super hungry. The weather is fantastic. It's 33 degrees Celsius, but it's really dry and it's relatively windy. You guys might hear the wind. But yeah, I'm really hungry right now, so let's head over to Old Town. It's not too far away from here. It's less than 5 minutes walk. And grab some lunch and then check out the Old Town. Yeah, let's go.
When I travel and whenever possible, I will only eat local food and sample local beers. That's because what's the point of traveling and exploring new places if we don't try new things? For my lunch, I stopped by Zestria, a highly recommended restaurant that serves traditional Romanian cuisines, and ordered a tipsia mocaniesca, a delicious Romanian pork stew with sausages, polenta, eggs, and cheese, washed down of course with some local lager. The food and service was excellent, the view just as beautiful. I spent the rest of my day exploring the old town on foot, appreciating the incredible architecture and keeping note of places I would like to visit on the following day. While the weather was dry and windy, it was still pretty warm during the day, and like most of the locals and tourists, I had a sudden craving for some ice cream, which as you can tell started melting even before I got to taste it. By 9 o'clock in the evening, the midsummer sun began to set and the streets started to get more crowded thanks to the cooler temperature. During my stay in Sibiu, the city was hosting its annual Sibiu International Theatre Festival, a celebration of art, culture, theatre, as well as an expression of love for the city. I was treated to a visual feast of performers marching and dancing along the main thoroughfare in unique costumes and special choreography. The best way to start the day, in my opinion, is to have a good night's rest the night before, waking up without an alarm and kicking it off with an awesome coffee.
Bona dimineața, si salut, good morning and welcome and hello. This is my second day here in this beautiful historic city of Sibiu, Romania. I had a really pleasant night's rest. I think I slept for about 6, maybe 7 hours. Still a bit of a time difference between Romania and Singapore, but I'm slowly sinking in, as in getting in sync with the local time zone. I had a great coffee. The coffee at Amber Cafe was really good. And I'm making my way down to the Altemberger House History Museum right now. Have a bit of time to spare today, so going to be actually visiting a museum. I love visiting museums, and when I do find myself in one, I tend to spend a lot of time because I like to read as much as I could in the museum. So since we have time, we're gonna do just that. After the museum visit, I'm guessing it's gonna take maybe 3-4 hours. Then I will have a quick lunch and then find one of those towers that we visited yesterday. Some of them allows you to climb up, so you can kind of have a panoramic view of this beautiful old historic city, which is what I'm planning to do. And I think we're almost there, so let's go take a look.
The Altemberger House History Museum comprises of 10 architectural units, with the oldest part being the dwelling tower built in the late 13th century. This collection of buildings also served as Sibiu's town hall for 400 years, from the mid-1500s till 1948. Today it serves as a history museum showcasing the local history of Romania, starting from as far back as the Paleolithic period into the medieval era, right up to significant occasions and events between the 18th to 20th centuries.
So unfortunately, most of these signs are written in Romanian, but thanks to modern day technology, we're able to do an instant translation. Thank you once again to Google. And we now know the history behind what's in this display case.
I spent about 3 hours walking through all the galleries in the Altemberger House History Museum, returned to Zestreia restaurant for lunch before venturing into the Brukenthal Palace Art Museum. This museum is one of the oldest institutions of its kind in Romania, open to the public since 1817 and is curated exceptionally well, housing some 1,200 works of art, antiques, sculpture, and other historical and cultural valuables, alongside a library with over 300,000 rare books and manuscripts dating as far back as the 15th century. One of the many reasons why I love visiting museums, aside from learning about the history, is to daydream and imagine what it was like when the items we see before us were used by the kings, queens, soldiers, and everyday person from a bygone era. When you visit Sibiu, and yes, I said when, not if, do look out for one of the city's most iconic architectural symbols. If you look up at the roof, you will notice that many of them have dormers shaped like eyes. This particular style and design is unique to Sibiu and not found anywhere else in the world. Aside from letting natural light into the attic, they also help ventilate the building in the summer. Having been around since the 15th century and noticeable on every street in town, it is no wonder that Sibiu is also affectionately known as the city with eyes. Well, that pretty much wraps up my 3 days and 2 nights stay here in the historic old town, old side of Sibiu, Romania, and I had such an amazing time. Had the opportunity to visit some of the museums here too. In fact, there was the Altemberger History Museum, as well as the Brukenthal Palace Art Museum, and just those 2 museums alone was about 6-7 hours in total. But it was a fantastic opportunity to learn more about the Romanian culture from Neolithic times to the Middle Ages to the Renaissance and the Baroque era. And also, this city is just stunningly beautiful. The people are ultra friendly. You just put a smile on your face and they'll give you a smile back. But all good things would kind of have to come to an end. It's not exactly the end yet, because by now you guys may already know that I will be joining BMW Motorrad for an 11-day ride right here from Sibiu, Romania, all the way to Garmisch in Germany. That's going to be on a separate video. So I'm checking out of my hotel here in downtown Sibiu, and we'll be moving to a different hotel, and then we start the adventure. Thank you so much for joining me on my first trip ever to Romania and to explore this beautiful city with me. If you guys ever have a chance to come to Romania, I do strongly recommend Sibiu. It is just gorgeous. That's it from me. Thank you so much and take care of yourselves, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.